Hi guys, and welcome to the Family Man Car Review. In this video, I bring to you a 2010 Toyota RAV4 Limited. I'm going to go over the features. I'm going to explain to you why, in my opinion, this makes not the best vehicle for how SmartKey works on a car. Obviously there is no actual key, it's just the key fob, and how it works is you just leave it in your pocket, and right now, I believe right now it's unlocked. So we walk up to the car, this black button right here, and now it's locked. Now you give it a second and there's a pad behind this handle. You just stick your hand behind that and it opens and you're good to go. Now once you come to the inside, you'll find a fairly nice array of options for this vehicle. Being in 2010, like I said, it has a navigation system, which this is the limited model, so it has every option available, aside from the V6, unfortunately. The V6 would be a great option for this vehicle. I would highly recommend, if you do want one, seek out one with the V6. You only lose about a mile per gallon, but you gain almost 100 horsepower, so it's a very fair trade-off. But once you climb into here, you'll find it's not horrible. It's not the most pretty cockpit of any vehicle out there, but Toyota did a good job at making it as plain but as functional as possible. Of course, they used a lot of cheap plastics. The seats are comfortable. It's got a nice steering wheel feel for the most part. It's a pretty small steering wheel, but it's got a nice feel. And this is electric assisted power steering, by the way. It's got a nice little feel to it, and all in all, it's not a bad place to be, especially for a 2010. We've got the push button start stop instead of a key for the ignition. It's got the 4-wheel drive lock up here. And it's got the dual zone climate control. It's got a nice set of functions for the navigation system. It's not nearly as sophisticated as a navigation system in a more upscale Toyota like an Avalon, let alone Lexus, which is a Toyota. But it gets the job done for the most part. It does not do the best sometimes, though, when it comes to finding the address that you put in there. Sometimes we even have the updated disc for it from the dealership, and it just doesn't find the address every single time, which is unfortunate because it's not cheap to buy the update disc for the navigation system from the dealership. The only trade-off when you buy the navigation system is you do away with the Bluetooth connectivity as well as the JBL premium sound system. For some people, it's a fair trade-off, but I think that Toyota could have done something to at least integrate the JBL with the navigation. But I don't know why they couldn't do it. I assume it's got to be something to do with the fact of the price point for this SUV. It is a low price point. Back in 2010, brand new, it sold for right around $31,000. We bought it in 2012, and in just that 2 years, we still paid about $25,000 for this SUV. So as far as the dealership resale is concerned, it really only depreciated about $6,000 in 2 years, which says a lot for Toyota quality. And obviously it's not this quality, but it's the quality under the hood. It's the quality that's connected to this transmission. It's a very high quality vehicle when it comes to reliability, and that really holds resale a lot more. I mean, when you think about it, Mercedes, you can buy a $180,000 Mercedes that cost that 10 years ago, and today you can buy the same Mercedes for about $20,000, maybe even less. So it just goes to show that the reliability is what holds that resale, not so much the amenities. As you see here, you can see the dashboard layout is not too hateful. It's pretty simplistic, but it gets the job done. And of course you got your gauge cluster. You have your AC power on off switch right there. You have automatic headlights. You have a decent navigation system. You've got your audio controls, touchscreen, all that fun stuff. You have your digital readout down there for your climate control. As I said, it is dual zone. So it's pretty nice for a 2010, especially for this price point. You've got your heated seats for your left and your right. You've got your traction control. Cruise control. Now see right here, if this did not have the navigation, this is where you would have the controls for the Bluetooth connectivity. But unfortunately, as I said with the navigation, you cannot have the Bluetooth connectivity in this vehicle. Downside for Toyota. You've got your steering wheel controls though for the radio still. And the mode control right here displays through your CD and AM and satellite and all that fun stuff. And then you've got your display button right here, which goes through your miles per gallon, your instant miles per gallon, your current average, and then back to the exterior thermometer. Standard rear view mirror. This one does not have the automatic dimming. All in all, it's not too bad. One thing I like about Toyota is they put these visor extensions to help aid in any awkward sunlight. Now for some people, this is kind of an issue with this RAV4. They hinge the tailgate to the side, and it kind of makes it a little bit of a pain if you're in a tight spot and there's a car so far behind you that it makes it a little bit difficult to open the door. And another complaint about that specific design is when it rains, a good thing about having a tailgate that comes up is you can get what you need out from the back without the rain, well, without you getting soaked. But this doesn't have that protection, and that kind of deters some people. However, I personally like it. It gives it to me, I'm a Jeep guy, and I love how on the Wranglers the tailgate hinges to the side, and it just kind of gives it that rugged look to me, or that rugged feel in a way. You know, a lot of Toyota vehicles do that. The Lexus GXs, they do, well, at least the older, the 470s did. I'm not so sure about the 460s, but the 470s would open up to the side. It's just, to me, it's something different, and I do like it, but I understand the complaints. Now you're going to see exactly why. In my opinion, this is not the best for a growing family, and this is just one of the reasons. But when I open this tailgate, you'll see a double stroller in here, which is what a lot of growing families have. But you'll see there's not room for a whole lot else. Right here is the double stroller. As you can see, it goes from one side clear to the other. And the problem with having two car seats, as I mentioned in I think the Expedition video, is when you have two car seats, you cannot lay either one of the seats flat. So what you have back here is it. That's all you have, is this cargo area right here. And it really, you really see just how small it is when you can't fold a seat down and you have two kids and you have a double stroller. To me, this is a drawback to this vehicle, and in and of itself makes it not the best vehicle for a growing family. As I said, if you are an established family and you don't plan on having any more kids, and you don't have two car seats, you know, you don't have, well, kids in, you know, that age anyway, so you don't need a double stroller, you know, then it makes a little bit more sense. And you know, it really is a great vehicle, being especially a Toyota. It's great quality, but it's just, it lacks a lot of space. Here we have the 2.5 liter straight 4 which puts out 179 horsepower. And it gets a surprisingly decent amount of gas mileage. We can average about real world gas mileage. We can average right around 23 to 25 depending on how much highway it sees. If it sees all highway, then we can actually average close to 30. Variable valve timing intelligence is what that VVTI stands for. And right here is a comfortable seating position for myself, and as you'll see, here's my gripe with the back seat. You can see it's pretty close to the back of this car seat here, which is not horrible, but you know, if you want to back any further whatsoever, well, it's just not a very comfortable ride. And to make sure it's absolutely perfect, sometimes I have to have my knee up against the console, which is super uncomfortable. But here it is though, with an infant car seat and our toddler car seat. So it doesn't do horrible. The biggest complaint when you have this type of family for this vehicle is simply the double stroller, the cargo area. Alright, now welcome to the inside of the 2010 Toyota RAV4 Limited. As you can see, it's a fairly well-equipped vehicle. In 2010, this was obviously the optional navigation system. And the only thing that I don't really like about this navigation is that to get the navigation system in this SUV, you had to do away with the Bluetooth functionality as well as the JBL audio sound system. So it just got the cheaper Toyota stereo, which is not horrible, but it could be a lot better. The JBL has a subwoofer in the very back, and this does not. So, you know, I'm pretty picky about the air conditioning a little bit here. I'm kind of picky about my sound quality, so it's kind of a bummer that it doesn't have the JBL. But for the trade-off, you get the navigation system, which isn't too bad. The only thing I don't like about the navigation is that even with the update, we spent $150 for the update last year with the new disc. We bought it straight from Toyota, and it really seems to miss a lot of the addresses that you put in there. You'll put an address in the navigation, and it can't be found a lot of times, and that can be pretty frustrating. I don't know. I would say if that was just maybe a 2010 glitch, but you know, I mean, it's a cheaper navigation. It's not the same navigation as you'd find in their flagship car like the Avalon and whatnot, but you know, it's still a navigation system that you would expect to get you from point A to point B most of the time. And I guess it does most of the time, but you would expect it to do a little bit more than it does. And everything seems tight, you know. I mean, it's not exactly, it doesn't have expensive materials in this SUV. You know, you got really dense and really cheap plastic right there. Got the dual zone climate control, which is nice for this price point of SUV. As I said, this is limited, so it has pretty much every option available, aside from the 6-cylinder. It's also got, of course, it's got the push button start and stop on this, which is a nice feature. And this one we optioned out with remote start as well from the key fob, which was actually an aftermarket install. It wasn't available from the factory. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this review of this 2010 Toyota RAV4 Limited. I hope it maybe will assist you in your decision-making process when you go and look at your next vehicle for your growing family. As I said, I would have to say I would not recommend this for a growing family, but maybe for your family, maybe it would work. For my family, not so much. With that said, it is a terrific vehicle. You won't find anything a whole lot more reliable than one of these. We've got 100,000 miles on this one and it has not had a single issue since we owned it. But again, I want to thank you all for watching this episode of the Family Man car review. And I hope you join me next time on my next review. And again, please like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for me, please let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see if I can get the right vehicle for you if nothing I have suffices right now. You all have a good rest of your day. I gotta get home and see to my family. Thank you guys.